The sky darkened over Seoul as massive alien spacecraft blocked out the sun. Jae Kim stood at the window of the Global Defense Command Center, watching the first wave of Zorkian ships descend with terrifying precision. Around him, military personnel scrambled, their faces a mix of fear and determination. The invasion began without warning. Massive energy beams cut through skyscrapers like paper, reducing entire city blocks to smoking ruins. Seoul's bustling streets transformed into chaos. In mere moments, people ran in every direction, their screams barely audible over the thunderous destruction. Jae knew this was different from any military engagement humanity had ever experienced. These aliens weren't interested in negotiation or communication. Their technology was generations ahead of human capabilities. Massive dropships released swarms of robotic combat units that moved with unnatural speed and coordination. In the first hour, major cities across the globe suffered similar fates. New York, London, Tokyo, Beijing, all fell under the relentless assault. Military defenses crumbled like sandcastles against a tsunami of alien technology. Conventional weapons seemed like primitive toys against the Zorkian arsenal. But Jae wasn't just watching. As a lead aerospace engineer, he saw something others missed. The alien technology, while advanced, had patterns, predictable patterns that could potentially be exploited. His fingers moved quickly across multiple computer screens, analyzing the invasion's tactical approach. A young communications specialist named Min-ji burst into the command center. "Sir, we've lost contact with most major military installations." Her voice trembled, but her eyes remained focused. Jae noticed her hands were steady, despite the apocalyptic scene unfolding outside. The Zorkian ships moved with calculated precision. Each strike seemed designed to maximize psychological impact as much as physical destruction. They targeted communication centers, military bases, and critical infrastructure with surgical accuracy. It was clear they had studied human civilization for years, understanding exactly where to strike to cause maximum disruption. Jae watched as a massive energy pulse disabled the city's entire electrical grid. Darkness spread like a living shadow, consuming Seoul's once bright landscape. Emergency systems flickered, then died. The silence that followed was more terrifying than the initial bombardment. "They're systematically removing our ability to communicate and organize," Jae muttered, more to himself than anyone else. His mind was already racing, processing the invasion strategy. These weren't mindless conquerors. They were methodical, intelligent, and seemingly unstoppable. Outside, the first wave of ground troops began their systematic sweep. Robotic units moved with impossible precision, scanning and neutralizing any potential resistance. They looked almost beautiful in their terrible efficiency, sleek metallic forms that moved like liquid mercury across the devastated cityscape. But something caught Jae's eye. A tiny inconsistency in the alien unit's movement. A microscopic delay between visual scanning and response. Most would have missed it, but to an engineer like him, it was a potential weakness. Min-ji approached him, a tablet in her hands showing global invasion maps. "Sir, we've lost 60% of major metropolitan areas in the first 3 hours." Her voice was clinical, but Jae could hear the underlying fear. The command center itself seemed like a tiny island of resistance in a sea of destruction. Emergency generators hummed, providing the only light in the darkened room. Maps showed red zones spreading like a virus across the planet's surface. Jae realized humanity was facing its greatest challenge. This wasn't just an invasion. This was a calculated attempt to completely eliminate human civilization. The Zorkians weren't interested in conquest. They wanted complete extinction. But something burned in Jae's mind, a spark of defiance. A belief that humanity, despite its apparent weakness, had something the aliens could never understand. Adaptability, creativity, an impossible spirit of resistance. As another massive energy pulse rocked the building, Jae Kim made a silent promise. This invasion would not be the end of humanity. It would be the beginning of something entirely unexpected. The first hour of the invasion had ended. The real fight was just beginning. As the first hours of devastation faded, pockets of human resistance began to emerge from the chaos. In underground research facilities and hidden military bunkers, scientists and soldiers started piecing together the alien technology's secrets. Hannah Park sat in a makeshift command center deep beneath Seoul's ruins. Her eyes moved rapidly across multiple screens, analyzing fragments of captured alien communication signals. Most would see random electronic noise, but Hannah saw patterns. Tiny inconsistencies that could become humanity's lifeline. "We're not dealing with perfect technology," she muttered to her team of young researchers. "Every system has weakness, we just need to find it." Outside the underground facility, the world looked like a nightmare. Cities burned. Alien robotic units continued their systematic sweep, eliminating any remaining human resistance. But inside this hidden space, something different was happening. A young engineer named Sung Ho brought over a complex computer model. "Look at the energy transmission frequency," he said, pointing to a series of complex graphs. "There's a microscopic delay between command and execution in their robotic units." Hannah's eyes lit up. Most people would have missed this tiny detail. But in warfare, especially against a technologically superior enemy, such small vulnerabilities could mean everything. Across the globe, similar scenes were unfolding. In hidden research centers in California, Russian scientific outposts, and secret military bases in Australia, humans were doing what they did best: adapting, analyzing, and preparing to fight back. The alien Zorkians had calculated human resistance would collapse quickly. They had studied Earth's previous conflicts, believing technological superiority guaranteed victory. But they hadn't understood humanity's core strength: innovation born from desperation. Sung Ho's team began developing a specialized electromagnetic pulse designed to exploit the tiny delay they had discovered. It wasn't a weapon that would destroy alien technology, but one that could momentarily confuse their robotic units. "We're creating a digital hiccup," Hannah explained to her team. "Just a fraction of a second, but in combat, a fraction of a second can change everything." Underground communication networks started rebuilding, using old satellite technologies, amateur radio systems, and quickly improvised communication protocols. Humans began sharing information faster than the aliens could track or destroy. Military units that survived the initial assault began regrouping. They were no longer fighting as separate national forces, but as a unified human resistance. National boundaries dissolved in the face of total extinction. In mountain regions of Nepal, in dense forests of Brazil, in remote areas of Canada, small human groups started collecting alien technology. Each piece became a puzzle to be solved, a potential weapon to be developed. The Zorkians continued their assault, believing total victory was moments away. They didn't realize that with each destroyed city, with each technological artifact left behind, they were providing humanity with more opportunities to understand and counter their technology. Hannah's team worked in shifts, never stopping. Coffee became their primary fuel. Computer screens glowed with complex algorithms and captured alien signal patterns. They were creating something the aliens would never expect: a digital defense mechanism that could turn their own technology against them. Sung Ho developed the first prototype of what they called the frequency disruptor, a small device that could temporarily scramble alien robotic unit communications. It wasn't a permanent solution, but it was a start. "We're not just defending," Hannah told her team. "We're learning. We're adapting." Outside, the world continued to burn. Alien units continued their systematic destruction. But in hidden spaces across the planet, humanity was preparing its response. Not with brute force, but with intelligence, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit of survival. The resistance had begun, quietly, strategically. With a determination that the Zorkians could never have predicted, the world had transformed into a global laboratory of survival. Every university, research center, and hidden bunker became a battleground of human innovation. The alien invasion had done something unexpected. It had united humanity like never before. Jae Kim's team worked around the clock, developing technologies that seemed impossible just weeks ago. Their primary weapon wasn't traditional military hardware, but something far more powerful: human creativity and collaborative intelligence. Quantum computing became their secret weapon. By analyzing captured alien technology fragments, they discovered unique computational patterns that could be exploited. Dong-Hyuk Lee, a brilliant quantum specialist, created algorithms that could predict alien robotic unit movements with shocking accuracy. "We're not just fighting," Dong-Hyuk explained to his exhausted team. "We're learning their entire technological language." Global research networks merged seamlessly. Scientists from different countries who had never spoken to each other before now worked as a unified team. Language barriers dissolved, national boundaries disappeared. Humanity became a single organism, fighting for survival. The first breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A group of young programmers in Mumbai discovered a way to create digital ghosts, false communication signals that could confuse alien tracking systems. These digital decoys could make human movements unpredictable, turning the aliens' technological superiority into a weakness. Military strategies evolved rapidly. Instead of traditional combat, they used intelligent disruption. Small teams could now neutralize massive alien units by understanding and manipulating their communication networks. Satellite networks, once destroyed, were rebuilt using hybrid technologies. Old communication systems were combined with pieces of alien tech, creating something entirely new. These networks became the nervous system of human resistance. Jay's team developed specialized electromagnetic pulse weapons that could temporarily disable alien robotic units. Each pulse was like a digital punch, causing momentary confusion in the alien systems. What seemed impossible weeks ago was now becoming a reality. Underground manufacturing centers started producing these new weapons. Factories that once made consumer electronics now created advanced resistance technology. Every machine, every computer became a potential weapon. The aliens continued their assault, believing their technological superiority guaranteed victory. They didn't realize that with each attack, they were providing humanity with more information, more opportunities to understand and counter their technology. Dong-Hyuk's quantum algorithms became increasingly sophisticated. They could predict alien unit movements with near-perfect accuracy. Resistance teams could now anticipate attacks before they happened, turning defense into a strategic offensive. Young engineers worked alongside military strategists. Computer programmers collaborated with quantum physicists. The traditional boundaries of human knowledge dissolved in the face of total survival. In hidden laboratories across the planet, something remarkable was happening. Humanity was not just resisting, they were evolving. Their technology was becoming something entirely new, a hybrid of human creativity and captured alien innovation. The Zorkians had calculated human resistance would be quick and total. They had studied Earth's previous conflicts, believing technological superiority guaranteed victory. But they hadn't understood humanity's core strength, adaptability born from desperate innovation. Jay looked at his team. They were exhausted, living on coffee and determination. But their eyes burned with something more powerful than fear: hope. They were creating a technological revolution that would change human history forever. As alien ships continued their assault, humanity's response was taking shape, not through massive weapons but through intelligent, strategic innovation. Each captured alien technology fragment became a piece of a larger puzzle. The technological revolution had begun, quietly, strategically, with a determination that would rewrite the rules of human survival. The aliens had no idea what was coming. The sky above Seoul erupted with a symphony of technological warfare. Seung-woo, the lead tactical commander, watched as humanity's first coordinated global counterattack began to unfold. Quantum disruption devices, developed in hidden laboratories, activated simultaneously across multiple continents. The alien fleet, which had seemed invincible just weeks earlier, suddenly found their communication networks collapsing. Robotic units froze mid-movement, their advanced systems overwhelmed by precisely calculated digital attacks. Jae Kim's team had done the impossible. They had transformed humanity's technological understanding into a weapon more powerful than any traditional military strategy. Each captured alien system became a new opportunity. Each defeated unit, a lesson learned. The first wave of counterattack wasn't about destruction. It was about disruption. Small teams of specialized units moved with unprecedented precision, targeting the most vulnerable points in the alien technological infrastructure. They weren't fighting with brute force, but with intelligent, calculated strikes. In the Pacific, modified naval vessels launched advanced electromagnetic pulses that created massive communication dead zones for the alien fleet. In North American mountain ranges, hidden defense stations sent complex quantum signals that confused alien tracking systems. European underground research centers coordinated massive digital attacks that made alien technology turn against itself. Xiong Wu watched the holographic displays, seeing something no military commander had ever witnessed before. Humanity was fighting as a single coordinated organism. National boundaries had dissolved. Military strategies had transformed. This was no longer a human war. This was a species-level response. The alien Zorkian command began to panic. Their supposedly invincible technological superiority was crumbling. Each attack revealed more vulnerabilities. Each counterattack showed a level of adaptive intelligence they had never anticipated. Hana Park's communication disruption technologies played a crucial role. The tiny inconsistencies they had discovered, weeks ago now, became massive strategic advantages. Alien robotic units began to malfunction, their communication networks collapsing from within. Young engineers who weeks ago were working in university labs were now tactical specialists. Computer programmers became battlefield strategists. The traditional understanding of warfare had completely transformed. The counterattack wasn't just about military action. It was a complete technological revolution. Humanity was rewriting the rules of engagement, showing an adaptive capability that the aliens could never have predicted. Alien ships that had once moved with terrifying precision now looked like confused metal giants. Their advanced systems, so perfect in their initial invasion, now became their greatest weakness. Each technological advantage they possessed was being systematically neutralized. Xiong Wu understood something profound. This wasn't just a battle for survival. This was humanity's declaration of its true potential. They weren't just defending themselves. They were showing the universe what human innovation could achieve. Underground, research centers continued their work. Each captured alien technology fragment became a new weapon, a new opportunity. The entire planet had transformed into a single massive research facility. The psychological impact was devastating for the alien forces. Their belief in total technological superiority was collapsing. Humanity wasn't just resisting. They were evolving in real time, turning each attack into a learning opportunity. Global communication networks, rebuilt using hybrid technologies, allowed instantaneous strategic coordination. A team in Tokyo could now provide real-time tactical support to units in Brazil. The entire planet moved like a single, intelligent organism. As the first day of counterattack concluded, something became clear. The alien invasion wasn't just being stopped, it was being systematically dismantled. Not through raw military power, but through intelligent, adaptive strategy. Xiong Wu allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had made one critical mistake. They had underestimated humanity's most powerful weapon, its ability to learn, adapt, and transform in the face of total challenge. The counterattack was more than a military operation. It was humanity's true awakening. The universe was about to learn what humans were truly capable of achieving. The final battle began with an eerie silence. Remaining alien ships hung in Earth's orbit like wounded predators, their once perfect technology now fragmented and confused. Jae Kim stood in the Global Command Center, watching the holographic displays that showed humanity's most critical moment. Xiong Wu's voice crackled through the communication systems. "This is our moment," he said simply. No grand speeches, no dramatic declarations, just pure, focused determination. The Zorkian fleet made their last desperate attempt. Massive energy weapons charged, preparing for what they believed would be their ultimate strike. But humanity was ready. Every captured piece of alien technology, every reverse-engineered system, every quantum algorithm was about to be put to the ultimate test. Hanna Park's global defensive network came alive. It wasn't a single weapon, but a living, breathing system of technological resistance. Satellites, ground stations, modified communication networks, everything became a potential weapon. The entire planet had transformed into a single massive defensive mechanism. The first alien energy pulse struck, but instead of devastating destruction, something unexpected happened. The pulse was absorbed, analyzed, and redirected. Quantum computing systems developed by Donghyuk's team turned the alien weapon back upon itself. Alien ships began to fall, not with explosions, but with systematic technological collapse. Their communication networks crumbled from within. Robotic units froze mid-movement. Their advanced systems turned into nothing more than expensive metal sculptures. It wasn't a traditional victory. This was a victory of intelligence, of adaptive capability. Humanity had done what no one thought possible. They had not just survived, they had completely transformed the nature of technological warfare. Young engineers watched in disbelief as alien ships began to drift helplessly. Military strategists who had prepared for total extinction now witnessed something miraculous. The most technologically advanced invasion force in galactic history was being defeated by human innovation. The Zorkian command tried one final, desperate strategy. They attempted to concentrate all remaining energy into a massive destructive pulse. But humanity was 3 steps ahead. The pulse was anticipated, redirected, neutralized. J. Kim watched the final moments of the invasion. Each falling alien ship represented more than a military victory. It was a testament to human potential, to the power of collaborative intelligence, to the ability to transform challenge into opportunity. Communication networks around the world erupted in a mixture of disbelief and celebration. Cities that had been reduced to rubble weeks ago now saw the first signs of hope. The invasion wasn't just being stopped, it was being completely dismantled. As the last alien ships began to retreat, something profound happened. Humanity realized it was no longer just a planetary civilization. They had become something more, a species capable of facing total extinction and turning it into a moment of unprecedented evolution. Sheng Wu's final transmission was simple and direct. They came to destroy us, he said. Instead, they showed us what we could become. The sky cleared. Alien technology that had once seemed impossible to understand now became the foundation of a new human technological era. What had been an invasion became the most significant moment of human technological advancement. Hanna Park looked at the final data streams. They had done more than defend the planet. They had rewritten the rules of technological engagement. Humanity had shown the universe its true potential. As the last alien ship disappeared from Earth's orbit, a new chapter began. Not of destruction, but of unprecedented possibility. The invasion had transformed humanity in ways no one could have predicted. The final confrontation was over, but humanity's real journey was just beginning. The universe would never be the same again.